Good evening and welcome to the Shelia New Comedy Show. This is our 1 year anniversary episode, the Encore edition. 1 year laughs. I go by J Twiz, and I am the official announcer of the Shelia New Comedy Show. Want more of me? Download my song OP Keys on the Retro and Friends Volume 1 album on any music streaming platform. Let's take a moment to explore the link tree at the top of the page, where you can find more info about the show and how you can listen on 11 different podcast platforms. Want to show some love? Visit our tip jar or visit the Shelia New Comedy Store to purchase merchandise. We appreciate the love and support. There's also a special link on our link tree to support our contributing partners, which are Laurel Hill Production, Inner Sheet Yoga and Meditation, Sisak Law Group, Ron Winston Entertainment, and Fave Unite TV. Let's take some time to celebrate Wanda Rhodes, Candace Murphy Sisak, and Shelia New as our associate producer. Now, for the rules of engagement, which are simple and as follows. For those of you who have been invited to the stage, please feel free to unmute and laugh during the show. But don't forget, we are recording live, and if you break the rules, you just might become a part of the show. And now, a special message from the comedian herself. Sheila, take it away.
It's our anniversary. Hey, anniversary. Hey, it's your girl Shelia New of the Shelia New Comedy Show. Welcome, it's Friday. We made it, and happy anniversary to us. Shout out to my super producer friends, Wanda Rose, Ronald Diller Jr., Candace Murphy, Sisak, and shout out to Jay Twiz for being the official announcer, and definitely to our first corporate sponsor, Wassy Dassy Bags and Accessories. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And to the over 40,000 of you who have downloaded, listened, laugh until you pee, laugh until you cry, honey. Listen, I'm so happy that y'all still here. Hang on tight. We got more to go. We just getting started. So make sure you stay tuned, stay tapped in, and let's get the show kicked off in our fashion. Jay, hit me.
So without further ado, we welcome you to the 1 year anniversary episode featuring our witty co-hosts, Wanda Rose and Candace Murphy Sisak. And starring the amazing, the incomparable, the hilarious, your favorite auntie, Sheila.
I love it. Go ahead, Wanda.
I'm on mute. That was great. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I love the introduction. That was a great surprise. And I can't wait for another 40,000 people to listen to the show.
I concur. Hey, Candace, I feel like it's been forever. Welcome, Candace. I miss. Hey, Juliana, and hey, Vanessa. Welcome. I'm so glad you're here. And thank you, Jay, for being here and always, always looking out for us. So we appreciate you so much. Wanda, what other surprises do we have today? I'm so excited. And happy anniversary to you, and happy anniversary to you, Candace. I'm so happy to see
Thank
that
you.
you are here. You are so welcome. I appreciate you so much for stepping in and filling in the gap. And now you are a permanent fixture, and I love it. So I appreciate you for being here and putting up and putting up with our shenanigans. So
It's some
definitely.
fun shenanigans.
Yes, indeed it is, honey. This is what we do. This is what I live for. So I'm absolutely over the moon excited. And welcome, Lois. It is good to see you. And welcome to our first anniversary celebration. Wanda, can you believe that it's been a whole year already?
No, I can't believe it's been a year. Seems like it was just yesterday we were starting, and I see Juliana's here, and I hope her mom is listening, and so she can translate for her, because they have been. I think Juliana has been on every episode, probably.
I think
Just
so, yeah.
so shout out to Juliana and her mom for always listening and supporting. And shout out to Candace for joining us, because this is not something that she planned on doing when we started the show. But thanks for coming along for the ride, Candace. Appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate you guys. And I've laughed and definitely enjoyed the show.
Thank you. It means everything. A lot of times we don't ever know what to expect. We just always, when we come in the third Friday of every month, we come in with the intention on just delivering great material, talking smack in our fashion, especially me, because it's what I do, it's what I love. But I appreciate it so much. Who knew that something that started a year ago this week, actually? We started on the third Friday of April. Matter of fact, it was after the weed holiday. And tomorrow is the weed holiday. So happy anniversary to all the 420 heads in the building. Smoke till you choke. I'm just saying, I'm old school. Hey, Jazzy. Hey, I'm just saying, it's a holiday, it's a celebration. We come from the earth. It's good for you as long as you know what's in it. So be on top of your game. But that's how it all started. And I absolutely never thought that it would grow and flourish to what we're seeing today. And I don't even know 5,000 people. I'm gonna keep it a buck. I probably don't even know 1,000 people. So to know that over 40,000 of you, we are so close, I think, to 43,000 being downloaded. We're like super close to that number. And then not only are you all listening from the United States, Canada's in the building. We have places like Bangladesh and New Zealand a few times, Australia. I've seen Brazil, Great Britain, Italy, France. I've seen a few places I never even heard of. But so thank you. Thank you for taking the time out to get your laugh on with us. It means everything. So I appreciate it 110%. And again, happy anniversary to us, honey. 1 year and we still got more to go, honey. Let's get it.
Yeah, you mentioned that we started in April of 2023, but really we started before April. We started, April was the first show, but we did two shows before that were not related that were very funny. And that kind of
Absolutely.
started us down the road. It was all about dating is for the birds.
Yes, absolutely. Because you wrote a wonderful book called Dating is for the Birds. It's a myriad of short stories talking about all kind of scenarios. And you're absolutely right. We were talking about all the stories in the book and how it was relatable. And that's what it was. And then somebody was like, yeah, you should do something. You should do something. I'm like, girl, ain't nobody thinking about you and doing something. But here we are, ta-da. You never know. So it take one person, right, to push you a little bit, and then it turns into this beautiful thing that I could have never imagined. So I love it. And I love to laugh anyway. And some of these stories and then some of the questions that have come up from our listeners on dating advice. I think I love that. Like, I'm no dating expert. I think I'm just a common sense person. And if it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. So I absolutely love to get y'all questions and to be able to pick it apart in the funnest way possible. And like I always say, all of this that we say is for entertainment purposes only. Please do not try any of these shenanigans at home. Please and thank you. Hey, Alyssa, good to see you.
You know what was funny on that? Before we started the actual first episode, we did one night where we talked about the book Dating is for the Birds, and we had Ron, who is one of our producers and host as well. Ron read stories, I read stories, and we talked about the stories. And I don't know, it was supposed to be funny, but it ended up being really funny as we discussed the stories. And I remember one particular story was about, and Candace may have something to say because she may find it funny and have her own little bit of wisdom to add. One story was about a girl who was on a date with a guy, and the guy's other woman called and she asked the girl to leave. And I think Sheila thought that was so funny
Yeah,
that
I remember that story. And Ron twisted it and said, "If it were, what would you do if you had somebody over, but y'all really weren't doing anything, and then your little main piece called? What would you do?" I would say I would get that Negro a pillow and a blanket and tell him to make himself comfortable downstairs while I go upstairs and handle my business. But hey, it is what it is. Candace, what say you, honey?
What? What kind of shenanigans was going on? I'm gonna tell you. First of all, if I'm the main piece, why you got company? We can start there. Now, what would I do if I was the main piece? I'd be on my way over there. If I was the other girl who was there, I would leave. Now, if the tables were turned and I was the guy, I was the girl who had two guys, then it would all be different. So I would say, baby, don't leave. Baby, don't leave. I would want to make sure I kept both of these pieces intact because you never know. Oh, you know what I'm saying?
I probably would leave if I was there, and I probably would never talk to him again. No, I would leave and I would never talk to him again. It's not probably. It's not probably. No. Yes. And I would never speak to him again. Well, I think one of my favorite segments has been questions we got from our audience members. And I don't know if you have a favorite question or if Candace have a favorite question she can remember over the last year. Because we've gotten a lot of questions, especially the ones around the holiday for Thanksgiving and Christmas. We had some really great questions.
Like to say that enjoyed the Christmas segment where you wanted to know about bringing new people to Christmas. That was funny. That was really,
I
really funny.
remember that. That was funny. I will say that is crazy, but that hey, it happens.
A lot of people wanted to know should they bring a new boyfriend or girlfriend home for dinner or take them to church.
And the whole thing is that, especially I think too. So going back to that, and that goes for any holiday. We in the spring, and you got Memorial Day coming up, and that's usually the kickoff party, right, for the summer. And you have a lot of things going on. So if you dated or hibernated in the wintertime and now here comes the spring and you got a new thing, but you still messing around with the old, do you bring the new to the where the family is used to the old? Do you bring your new piece or introduce them to the rest of your family? Sometimes that works out, it's okay, and sometimes not so much, especially if your family is used to your old piece and now here you come flaunting the new piece. They may give your new piece to business. So I always say tread light. So you got to make sure you got to read the room, understand what it is. I know a couple people that have been dating people for a long time. They break up, but their person who they were dating and the family is still really cool. And so the expectation is that person still comes around because now they have formed their own bond with your family. So whether you got a new piece or not, they not caring. They just want to see the old person that you've been with because they consider that person as family. So that might make your new person feel a certain kind of way. But that's why you gotta ask questions. I think out of the whole thing, that when we talk about the show overall, I think that the reoccurring theme is something that we coined, and now it's on the T-shirt, and it say "Ask questions." So you gotta make sure you asking all the questions. Don't be asking the questions that make you feel good, warm and fuzzy, and all the BS you want to hear. Ask them hard hitting ass questions that make you sit down in the corner and reevaluate the situation from the top to the bottom, or as the old school say, from the rooter to the tutor. Make sure that you asking all the pertinent questions because they matter. They matter. Don't get caught out there with the representative and then you become mad because it ain't what you thought it was, or he ain't what you thought he was, or she ain't what you thought she was, and all that stuff because y'all got caught up in the grandeur of the illusion. And nobody asked the hard hitting questions. So you got to ask the questions, please and thank you. Ask the questions.
You know what? We had a really great question. I remember that, and it was they asked you, "What are your love languages?"
Oh, yeah. So, as a recap, everybody had their own love, get all sentimental with it, and it's mushy and all the stuff. So, some people say physical touch, words of affirmation. What are some of the other standard ones, Wanda? Them the only two that I remember right off. Is this? It's some more acts of service. I think it's
You got
another.
it. Acts of service, gifts. You said it, but I know I think you have some special ones that you consider very precious to you.
Yeah. So my love language is rent, bills, groceries, car note, car insurance, shoes, clothes, underwear, the regular stuff that you know that you need. Those are my love languages. If you want to call them acts of service, words of affirmation, love, make you feel warm and fuzzy. Those are my words of affirmation or my love language. That's what I like. Yeah.
I thought those were pretty special, and if you want to read more about those, check out our comic book that we have, and you can find out all about love languages. And we coined the name for Sheila during the show, and she is known
You
as. And you didn't
coined the
know. Most people
name.
didn't know that she had a PhD in love, and she studied love in college. And she is called the Love Doctor. And we have a whole specialty field called Loveology.
That's it, absolutely. And Loveology has been running rampant. Matter of fact, we did a few episodes on Loveology, and that was the beautiful thing about it because it was such an outpouring of questions and different scenarios. I think those are what I like too. Like the what if. What would you do if? And then people will give their situation. And sometimes the truth can sting a little bit, but you need it. Those are the things that you need, and you want somebody to give you a dose of truth. But I hope we deliver it in a way that makes you laugh, but the laughter invokes the part of your brain that needs to really reevaluate and think. But we've had some good times, but definitely. And I'll take
That's it.
that. I
And
take that, love doctor. I'm also the hood philosopher
oh,
of the
that's a good
group
one
too.
too.
Go
But
ahead.
I just Elisa left, and now just brought back a memory because Elisa was on our first ever show,
Yes, she was.
and she broke the rule. She broke the first rule, and she was trying to break it again tonight.
Yeah, she was. Yeah, but see, that's why we say,
Hey, that's a good thing.
yeah, you, yeah, yeah. Hey, you can either enjoy the show or become a part of the show. And sometimes being a part of the show ain't always a good thing. But yes, absolutely, she was, and I do appreciate her too. As I don't know how long she's been doing comedy, but definitely ain't nothing but
Yeah,
love and respect for
I
sure.
appreciate her coming back because she was on that first show, and so that was really
Definitely,
cool.
yep, she
And after the
was.
first show, she invited us to be on her show that she had,
Yeah.
so that was really cool.
Yeah, absolutely. That's one thing that I can say. This opportunity has created other opportunities. And before we used to, and I didn't get a chance to give it to Jay before because you were still working on it. But above our heads is our new website for all things the Sheila New Comedy Show. Wanda has worked very hard to get this together before this particular show. So shout out to my super producer friend Wanda Rose. So if you click on the link above, there are different ways that we're looking at involving you more into what we got going on. As Wanda mentioned, there's a comic book called Loveology. I think it's Loveology 101. It's only $2.95, y'all. It's a funny little quip. If you having a bad day, you just want to get your laugh on and go through. I'm pretty sure all of us have been through that scenario. That came from the first, I think the first episode. It was a beautiful thing. If and it wasn't the first episode, it was somewhere down the line. But either way it goes, it's pertinent. Okay. And if you click on it as well, it leads you to the store. We have merchandise now in the Sheila New Comedy Show store where you can buy the Hood Philosopher hoodie, which is one of my favorite hoodies of all time. We have a couple of edition comedy show t-shirts. We have some journals. We have some note cards. A few other t-shirts of phrases that we have coined throughout. But what's even more special is that you yourself, if you have a business and or a brand and you want to be a part of this platform, we have sponsorship packages now that we are offering to our fan base, to you, for you to just join us. We'll give you a shout out. That's $25. You get a shout out through the show. That means that shout out will forever be heard as many times as that episode is replayed. We have a silver pack, $50. You get to add your brand and then we have our gold package, which gets you all kind of other cool stuff. So check us out, check that part out. And I always like to, because you already know how I like to say this is for entertainment purposes only. I'ma say this part too. Prices are subject to change, so get in where you fit in. And as early as you can. And two, just like any other business, all shout outs and things of that nature will be at our discretion. So I like to say that too, because if y'all doing some stuff that's nasty and things, that's your business. I ain't judging, but I can't, some stuff I just can't lean into. So I ain't gonna do it. I'm just gonna keep it a buck with you, keep it 100 all the time. Go ahead, Wanda, if you got
Yeah,
something
we've
else to
had yeah.
add.
Thanks for giving the recap about this, what we have on the website. But we have some really cool times. We've had some entertaining time. We've had some people break the rules, but it's been funny. Alyssa broke the rules. We had Miss Dorez who broke the rules one night, and that was funny. She had to tell two stories, but we had to let Dorez go because Dorez is older, so we let her tell her stories. But it was cool. We had a good time and we had some great
That's
laughs.
where editing.
I know we did edit. and she'd find that funny if she heard it. And so we also have Candace, and one of the cool things about Candace coming on is Candace she's a big fan of sports, and so having her come on allowed us to talk about sports. Our last year we did a lot talking about football, which is one of her favorite topics, and we talked about Deion Sanders, and I don't know what she thinks how he's gonna do this year with football. What do you think, Candace?
I think this year is going to be truly telling of what kind of coach he is. So we already know he brought the team to 4-8. And the year before, under the previous coach, he had only won one game. So Dion comes along fresh out of Jackson, Mississippi, and wins 3 additional games. That's huge. And so this year, we're expecting a lot. We're expecting, at least a 50-50 record.
You're so serious about sports, Candace.
She
Oh
is,
my
and she
And
got a
gosh.
call too,
it's
so
going to
that
be
might
some
have
good
did it.
stuff. Good stuff.
I
So
I
I'm looking
Yeah.
appreciate that.
forward to it.
Yeah,
I'm not a sports fan,
not
but
football. I love
when
basketball, but
but
I love Candace's
I've
passion though.
yeah, I've watched football with Candace
Do
and
you
she
know
gets
the
really
playoffs are
excited.
starting?
You know what?
The
For the
NBA
basketball,
playoffs?
yeah, it's all this that time of year. Absolutely.
Yep.
Yep, this is
Yep.
that time of year, all the way through June.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because March Madness. Now, one fun fact, because Candace, I know that you are a football person, so you already know what's happening in Detroit, right?
What's going on?
It's the draft, baby. They're doing the NFL draft in the D this year.
In Detroit?
Absolutely. No, Detroit.
Wow.
Shout out to the Detroit Lions that had one hell of a season, the best season that they had in forever. I'm not a
I
football fan,
know.
but because my dad loves the Lions, I am a Lions fan because of him. And I'm gonna leave it there. But with that, we talked a lot about the sports aspect, and Candace does bring a fresh perspective, and I love that part of it. And it's just like with anything else that we talk about, but it has been so like this year started off with a bang. And who started it off? None other than one of my favorite comedians, Cat Williams. Baby, when I say he lit the stage up on the Shannon Sharp show, what they call him, the Shay, whatever shoe Shay man show. Baby, listen, yeah, listen, Cat let the cat, pun intended, out the bag. He came out swinging. He said, "Look, he might be 5'4", 5'3", however tall he is, but y'all opened the wrong door to the wrong individual." And baby, when I said all the secrets and all the things was told, he let people in the background. They had to be quiet. I ain't heard nothing else since then. But baby, he set January up, and it's been a snowball effect ever since then. It's been crazy, but it's been a beautiful journey to see all the stuff that has happened in such the first few months of the year already. So it's been, as I would say, comedic gold, but it's been a beautiful thing at the first part of the year. So yeah, I'm ready. Let's get it.
It's been a good year. We had a lot of fun, and we had some really key words that we talked about during the show. We had Loveology, we had I think flower in a bag, hood philosopher, which is one of my favorites. I think anybody could be a hood philosopher. What's your definition of hood philosopher, Sheila? I'm just curious.
You got to be from the hood.
I don't think
That's the
so.
first. Shit, you gotta be from the hood because all philosophy ain't viewed the same. If you from the hood, it's a lot of stuff. Who knows what sugar water is? If you ain't from the hood, you don't have no idea. You know what a wishing me sandwich is? If you ain't from the hood, you don't have no idea. What about a syrup sandwich? If you ain't from the hood, you don't have no idea. So yeah, I think you gotta have a little hood, and it can be from any hood from across these United States and abroad, because I've been some places. I'm gonna tell you, the hood don't have no boundaries, right? Like you can have the most beautiful islands in the world, and there's some hoods there. My version of a hood philosopher is someone who's seen some things, who's been able to make something out of nothing. Ain't no silver spoons, because the ones even in your drawer in the kitchen, even if you got a kitchen with a drawer, Them spoons is just spoons, but they may not be silver. So that's my version. And the philosophy is different because we know how to take a little bit of something and stretch it to make it a lot of bit of something. And I've seen that firsthand. I seen my granny do it. I would consider her a hood philosopher. It's just something that I like to say. But that's my version.
Thank you for explaining hood philosopher. I still think almost anybody can be a hood philosopher. And get the T-shirt; it's really cool. They come in burgundy, white, and pink, and probably gonna add some colors. But you can be a hood philosopher. But one of the other things I think some of my favorite shows been with Candace. We also had Griff come on. Griff is co-host of Good Morning, Get Up Mornings with Erica Campbell, and he came on and we talked about storytelling and we had a great time with Griff. We've had Ronald be on for several shows, and Ron is our associate producer. And one of my favorite shows is Clubhouse High. And so Clubhouse has a special place for us because this started on Clubhouse, and we still use Clubhouse. It's free, hey. But Clubhouse has been special because Clubhouse is really like a high school. And I think Clubhouse has had a lot of dropouts because people have left the app and they come back.
You ain't
So,
lying.
so I think that's just again like a high school. We have dropouts, and they even have reunions. They come back and they meet up and they talk about what happened last year and 2 years ago in Clubhouse. I think that's the unique thing about Clubhouse, and we refer to Clubhouse as what
Clubhouse
Clubhouse,
High School.
and it has a theme song and everything.
Yeah, we had a theme song. We had a mascot. We had school colors. We had our own version of what the sports would look like, the choir, the drama club, all the different clubs. We had your freshman class, your sophomore class, your junior class, and your senior class, and sometimes your senior class. We talked about dating on the app. Do a lot of people use Clubhouse as a way to meet people and get their little freak on and all of this stuff? And there's been some relationships that have stood tall, and there's been some relationships that have people probably wish they never even started because of Clubhouse. You got to be careful, and it goes back to the same principle. Ask questions because all you have here, this is a social audio app, right? So you hear voices, and some people might sound like Barry White, and then when you get them in person, it might not be what you thought it was. Some females might have this deep, sexy thing going on, and y'all meet in person, it may not be what you thought it was. So that's why you have to ask questions. Get off the app, ask questions, set up, especially if you're not in the same city, state, or even time zone. You may want to find a way to jump on Zoom or something, or WhatsApp or something, so you can take a look at who you're talking to so you can make sure they are who they say they are and quit playing with yourself. But yeah, just be careful. Just like with any social media outlet, be careful. People send their representatives marching forth all the time. So make sure you ask the questions, all of them, please and thank you.
The app is cool because I think I've met a few people from the app in person, and they've been real and they've been cool. And I know a lot of other people who've met people, and I think the voice adds something to the app. And that it started during COVID. That was the other thing that made Clubhouse pretty special because no, people didn't have anything else to do. So a lot of people were on Clubhouse. And so I guess to ask, and Candace's not really a Clubhouse person. She comes on just because I asked her to come on. It's not really her thing. Oh, and she come on to certain classes because I asked her to come listen. But Sheila, what's your number one lesson you learned on Clubhouse? And please be nice.
And see how she always talk about be nice. Okay, so one thing that baby, I have learned so much about Clubhouse. Okay, number one, yes, it's some people on Clubhouse that are real and they are true. They say they are candidates, do not, baby. But listen, she opened up this question and then she fall all the way back. But she know I'm getting ready to bring all the smoke. Because I believe in telling the truth, because the truth was the truth will set you free, honey. And I believe in being free. I don't want to be bogged down and bound, honey. So let me tell you, I've met some really cool individuals on Clubhouse, some who I have forged tight bonds with, and that's cool, and I love it. because they seem to be very genuine individuals. And I believe in giving people the benefit of the doubt. But again, I grew up in a small town in Michigan, and we ain't play no games. And I'm very much, when I fly that hood flag, I'm so serious about it. Like I love that I'm from that, because it has prepared me for a lot. But see, don't never get it twisted. I could be in the hood room, or I could be in the boardroom and still get my point across the most eloquent way possible. Okay, so don't let the density in my voice or the thickness of my tongue fool you, because the sister is smart. Okay, I'm just saying. So let's go from there. But what I have learned, what I have learned, scam. Oh, scam. People scamming here. It's a lot. It's a lot of scamming going on. There's some flammers, some scammers up in here, baby. So you got to be careful. You have to be
Okay, thank you for
careful.
that. Thank you for
Wait,
that
I'm not finished
announcement.
yet. Let
We
me
might need to move on.
finish. Let me finish. Let
There's some good
me.
people in the app too.
Candace, I'm gonna need your help. Didn't I say it was some good people on there? I started with that first. I led with that. I said it's some very genuine people, some very nice individuals. It's a lot of people really truly cool with. You're a testament to that. We have time together. We had a wonderful time. And don't get it twisted. I don't let my baby be around just know anybody, okay? Because I'm a particular parent. That's number one. For me to fly from here to come hang out with you, that was huge for me, because that's special. But on the other side of that, we have to keep it above, because we all have been in rooms and in houses now, because the clubs are no longer, so they're houses right now that people have been taking, and that's the truth. So you have to be careful, and not just on Clubhouse. So I just can't bash Clubhouse for that. That's any social media. That's the Book of Faces, Grandma Insta, Talking Tick, whatever, base a fan, whatever, which ones you get on, or whoever you deal with, you got to be careful. But the whole thing is, it's scammers out there. It's people who make a living scamming people, and you got to be careful. So the word of this evening is discernment. You have it, use it, and just be cautious. And when all else fails, ask questions. Go ahead, Wanda.
I was just thinking about Candace would always say, if I told her about somebody that met on Clubhouse or tell her something going on, Candace would be, "Have you ever met this person? No, you never met them.
See?
You haven't met them in real life. But Clubhouse is a different animal. People spend a lot of time on Clubhouse sometimes, and you talk to people for hours at a time. And so I think, but you're right. You have to ask questions and make sure, because we've had people who they say they're a man, but then they're really a woman. People go far, and if you really know
See?
Clubhouse has a whole side called a dark side. There's a
Right.
whole. And then dark side don't mean bad. Dark side is really the hood side of Clubhouse.
Right.
It's not as bad as it used to be, but there was a really good. It was really actually fun, the dark side on Clubhouse. But
And the whole thing is, like you said, you got to ask questions, but you can't get caught up. People have conversations with people, and they suck you in, and then they will bleed you dry if you let them. But see, one thing about it is that you have conversations with Candace, and Candace is a person who, like you stated, she not always on the app. So
Candace
Candace
is too
gonna
logical. Candace is too logical. Nothing,
right, but Candace gonna
everything got
make
to
you
make
think
sense.
though.
Everything
But
got
you
to make
need
sense to
that.
Candace.
Exactly. I love that. Candace, what you think? I want you to chime in on this too, because I need to make sure that we get your voice on on this
Man, I'm
philosophy.
chiming in. I'm chiming in. It's got to be logical. It's got to be logical. You got to lead with your brain and not your heart. And as soon as you lead with your brain and not your heart, how you say, if it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. That's my
That
take
part.
on it.
Thank you, Candace. But Candace is
You
always
know
very logical.
what?
One plus one got to
It
equal two
gotta
for her.
equal two all day. So I'm a shout out to the late Karen Jones, who was one of the first individuals who I met on this app. Karen was a biochemist, And I've never met a biochemist before, let alone a Black woman who was a biochemist. And she was so serious about everything that she did. And she was very influential in the young community, in the community that she served. She served a lot of Black and brown girls in the area of STEM. It was important for her, for the young girls to understand that they too can have a life in science, technology, engineering, and math. And then they added art to it too. She had an association that was a nonprofit called the Chocolate Chip Association, and I hope it's still going. I have to look it up and find out for myself. But Karen used to have this phrase that she would say, and it sticks with me till this day: trust but verify. Trust but verify. So when you are on this app and you are in here with all these different people from all over the planet, and some in the closet and underneath the bed and behind the bushes and wherever they happen to be, trust but verify. Again, using discernment. My go-to: ask questions. And I leave it there.
Yeah, that's true. The cool thing, and before we go into something else, is that I've met people, may not be in person, but people who are in Ghana, Kenya, Nigeria, and that's been pretty cool. That's been definitely pretty cool. And these are people you can pick up the phone. It makes the world seem a little bit smaller. Just gotta say that. But thank you for enlightening us about what we have to do on
Yes.
Clubhouse. I think that was a really cool episode. We also did the 12 days of we did the 12 days of Clubhouse Christmas, and that was
Yes.
really funny.
Yes.
And
I
we talked
enjoyed that.
about, and I think that also was scamming was in that too. It's not all scam, but I think that was one of the 12 days. But that was really a cool countdown we did for
Yes.
Christmas.
Absolutely. I agree. And it's just, I think once you find everybody has a tribe of people that they vibe with, that they click with, and that they cool with. And I'm pretty much an open person for the most part. I don't judge because y'all already know my phrase: I have no heaven or no hell to place anybody in. So I don't judge you. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I do have to pay attention. And one thing I know for sure, and two things for certain, is that if you show me who you are, baby, I don't have no other choice but to believe you. You showed me. I gotta go there. And I gotta make sure I pay attention to all of that. But being on this ride has definitely honed some skills that I haven't used in a long time. So I definitely appreciate that. And I appreciate you two ladies for riding this ride with me. And we can pick apart. And one thing that I do love about us as a whole, that we all individually stand on what we believe. It's not so much for argumentative purposes. It's the fact that we can get along with one another and have differences of opinions and still find the funny in everything we do. We don't always have to agree in order for us to get along. And I think that's what makes this work the best way possible, because we do have our own stance and we all are funny in our own way. And that's what I love about doing the show with you and with Candace. And when Ron was here on a regular basis, or anybody that we've had, be a guest host, everybody has their own version of funny, but I have enjoyed the ride 100%. So I absolutely love it.
We forgot about one. We had Will Baptiste
Yes,
came on as a host as well.
nephew. Yes.
So shout out to Will.
Yes, Will, I love Will. Will came in with his own perspective and his own philosophy on a lot of things, and that's the beauty. We've had men come on and say what they needed to say, and it's been a beautiful perspective to see everything. And then the community of people that continue to come in, even we've been back and forth in here, and we've had Lori who was here, Lakeisha just came in. Hey Lakeisha. We have Sister Nicole Charles who was here, Meredith, Jazzy is a loyal member of the Inner She Yoga and Meditation House, and wherever I pop up, Jazzy is there. So I definitely love seeing her face in the place. And as you stated, Juliana has been traveling and truing with us since the beginning, and she does do a beautiful thing as that she translates the show for her mom. And I think that is one of the dopest things. As Wanda said, and we've stated before in the past, we've known that that was going on into the background until Juliana shared that with us in one of our little after show parties that we used to do after the show. And of course, my oldest Jay Twiz is in the building, who has, become part of this beautiful thing that we started a year ago. And I'm happy. I'm happy to be a part of something that's, I feel, that's bigger than you, I, or Candace, because laughter is something that I just feel that soothes the soul. Laughter allows the release of endorphins and makes room for you to figure shit out when stuff get deep. So I really 100% truly appreciate our community, our fan base. I don't take it for granted. I don't never assume that you all have to show up. I know Friday nights, it's a lot of things that you could be doing, but when you stop by to spend some time to deposit some love, I appreciate that. And for those of you who are listening on the replays or are listening on the podcast, this is for you. Thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for laughing. Thank you for laughing at the some of the stupid stuff that we say, some of the phrases that we coin. Thank you for having an open heart and mind, no matter if you're from the US, Canada, or anywhere abroad. And one thing I will say this, and I'm going to put it out there, I can't wait to see y'all in person. I can't wait to take this show on the road and be in South Africa and be in Australia and be in New Zealand and be in Great Britain and being in Italy and in Spain and in Brazil and in the Caribbean and in Canada. We can't wait to see y'all in person. Shake y'all hand, take pictures, take some ussies, and just blow this thing out the water. We cannot wait to meet you and to make you laugh in person. This is not just something that we doing because we ain't got nothing else to do. We do this because we love this. And more importantly, we love y'all because y'all kick it with us. And that for me says a lot. So thank you and thank you. Wanda?
Thank you for those beautiful words. It's been fun doing the show over the last year. It's fun, but it can be a lot of work sometimes because it's not. We have to think about stuff. We don't just get up here and just go off the cuff a lot of times. So I'm a planner, probably more than Sheila is, I think. So I like to plan the
Yes.
show out,
Yes, you are. Yes.
and Ron is even more of a planner than me.
Yes.
Candace will go with whatever. Just
Yes, I
listen.
love
So
it. I love it. Thank you, Candace, for being the balance. I absolutely love it.
Hey, I'm just glad to be here. Glad to be here. Thank you, Sheila. Thank you, Wanda, for inviting me. Thank you for having me be a part of this great comedy show. It's funny, it's entertaining, and you learn. You learn about people, you learn about personalities, you learn about loveology. I really I really have enjoyed myself. And I'm looking forward to being a co host and just bringing my little special spin and give some balance to Wanda and Sheila and see where we go.
And thank you. And that's what the world needs, balance, right? I believe that truly. And I appreciate you for being here. I really do. I thank you for saying yes. And for all the people that have co hosted before, thank you for saying yes. For those who have stopped in, thank you for coming in, pouring in, because you're giving of yourself and your time. And again, one more time, click that link at the top. The website is live, y'all. So there's opportunities. If it's something that you want to see, that you want to discuss, that you want us to talk about, even if you want to feel like you want to be a part of the show by being a guest host, reach out to me, reach out to Wanda, let us know. We'll have a conversation. I'm big on energy, so let's just make sure that everything is copacetic and runs well. I think the three of us kind of show that women of color especially can get together and do the damn thing, and we can all have, again, differences of opinion, and it can still be funny. We all approach things in our own unique way, but at the same time, it's a sisterhood that we lift each other up, never bring each other down. So that's the beautiful part of being a part of the Sheila New Comedy Show. It's just not my name, it's not just my face, but it's us as a community of people. As much as mine as it is Wanda's, as it is Candace's, and that's something that, as a creative, as a comedic storyteller, this is important. As being a female in this business, this is important because we don't always get the recognition or the shine that we deserve as individuals. And I'm gonna tell you, I ain't got to get butt naked and stand in no table and throw nothing in no circle to get your attention. All I got to do is open my mouth and have my mic in my hand and have these stories rocking. And I'm gonna do what I do 100%. Go ahead, Walter.
Yeah, I just want to say a special shout out to Ron because Ron has been instrumental in helping to start the show. He's not here tonight, but we love Ron.
Absolutely.
He's one of my favorite people, even though he makes me mad, and I want him to hear that. And Sheila and I have to talk about him, but he is an awesome, amazing person. He's an amazing writer. Go check out his films.
Yes.
They are on Tubi, but he's excellent. They're also on Favorite Night TV, which is one of our sponsors.
Yeah.
So check Ron out, and you never know when Ron will show up.
Yep.
But Ron
Exactly.
is he's an amazing person. He will always be a part of the show. And shout out to
Yes.
Inclusive Care in Louisiana who had Sheila come down and entertain at their festival this year. That was
Thank
really cool. So
you.
shout out to the CEO, Dr. Chandra Williams, and Inclusive Care for that, for the love. We appreciate them.
Absolutely. Definitely shout out to Inclusive Care. And I absolutely, when I say they rolled out the red carpet, it was a beautiful thing. I felt at home. The food was amazing. The crowd was amazing. The venue in and of itself was amazing. Louisiana was hot, honey. It was hot in November. And I ain't expect a sister. I'm all natural. I can't be playing out here. I came in straight and was, baby, them curls was, they like was like magic and they disappeared. Man, definitely shout out to Ronald Dillard Jr. Oh, baby, when I say me and him, sometime we would get on Wanda's nerves, honey. He would want to just take things way to the left, and I'd be like, even for me to say, "Whoa, hold on, whoa, did you want to say what now?" And it would just be funny, but I absolutely love it. But listen, and definitely special shout out to Griff, who did our storyteller show back in February. Thank you, kind sir, for being a part of this thing that we call comedy and storytelling and lending your voice to this platform. I greatly appreciate it. I think we are showing people that we can all get together and do what we got to do and lift each other up and still be able to be creatives in our own lanes and still be able to come together and to do a thing. So thank you again to the over 40,000 of you who have listened, who have laughed, who have shared. Follow us on all social media platforms. You can find me on Instagram as Sheila New the Comedian. So yeah, that's pretty much it. And I think on TikTok too. I don't know if it's the same on TikTok, but I only got on TikTok because Wanda said it. So make sure, and we do have a Facebook fan page called the Sheila New Comedy Show. So make sure that you go join and sign up for that again. Save the website, click on it, support the show. We got merchandise. We got a little comic book that y'all can be a part of. Get your merch on, honey. But sport that swag. Look, I'm a big supporter of my own stuff. I don't ever call Wanda and say, just send me some t-shirts. I buy my own stuff. I believe 100% in supporting the brand by purchasing with my own coins to make sure that the brand continues to grow and continues to flourish. And listen, we this was our celebratory recap of everything that we've done thus far. And I'm gonna tell y'all, we celebrating again next month because next month the podcast in and of itself turns a year. So y'all got back-to-back celebrations. So next month, y'all make sure y'all tap in, join us. We gonna have some different kind of content going on. We got a whole lot of stuff that we're working on, a whole lot of more surprises coming your way. So continue to hang in, tap in. A lot of times you don't always get the opportunity to get in on the ground floor when things happen. People always come in when things have already blown up. And then I got a saying, and I'm going to say it right now, because we used to say it when I used to go on stage all the time as I traveled. When I blow up, don't you show up. And that basically what that means is support now, because this is when it counts. Don't wait until after a person has gotten to a certain status to say I know. Start now, because the small businesses matter, medium businesses matter, women-owned businesses matter, and this matters. The creative industry, the entertainment industry with creatives matter. It's a lot of people out here are afraid to step out and do a thing because they feel like they don't have the support. Support starts now. Sharing stuff don't cost you nothing. But if you're able to pour in and seed into a person, do that. Y'all don't know. That makes a difference. When I know people, whether I know you or not, but when I know, like my friends of mine, family members of mine, my own daughter don't call me and ask me for free t-shirts. She has purchased t-shirts. She has supported the show and using her own coins. I love that. Some of my best friends that I've grown up with have supported the show by buying stuff. They don't call me and ask me to send them free stuff. And the people who do call me and ask me free stuff, that's what I do. I send them the link and say, click on it and put your card in there with your address and we'll ship it to you and make sure that you get it. So just support the arts. I'm a big proponent of that. This is an art form. Support us as we continue to pour in and support other art forms that are like ours or even similar. Because like I always say, it's enough, y'all, for all of us to have some. And that's my piece.
Thank you. And I just want to say shout out to Jade, who's been our announcer since the beginning. I think, yeah, I think Jade did the first one. So shout out to Jade for being our announcer. She's been consistent and her voice is amazing. So we really appreciate that.
Yes, I really love you, baby, and I thank you. And definitely again, shout out to Wanda Rose, who worried the hell out of me about doing something. And look, Wanda don't like to shine on her, but let me take this time and just put it where the spotlight need to be. And I just want to say this on this platform and in this way. Don't do that. Wanda Rose is an amazing creative person, more than anybody knows. And even me, I didn't know. I didn't know any of the stuff that Wanda was doing behind the scenes. Wanda is a writer. She has written songs. She has had the songs composed. People have sung the songs. Wanda has written plays. We are backed by Laurel Hill Productions. That's Wanda's company. This is some true, real stuff going on. So as a creative to another creative, she's an author. She is all of these things. But you know what Wanda is definitely not? Is selfish. She is the most selfless person that I know. And she continues to pour and to make sure that you don't sleep on the gifts that you have. And Wanda saw something in me that she wanted to help curate. I didn't ask her to. It's just something that she saw. And sometimes it takes all it takes is one person to see you, to hear you, to love you enough, even if you don't think that you have it in you to give. Wanda just would not stop. And her famous phrase to me was, "You funny, right? You funny, right?" And it would irritate my soul. So I'd be like, "Ooh, want to get on my nerves, child. I'm not gonna do whatever she said. I'm not gonna do it." And I kept saying no. I said no until one day I said, "You know what, Wanda? Let me think about it. Let me figure some stuff out." I slept on it for 3 days, and bam, here we are, a whole year later, doing this whole damn thing. So Wanda Rose, from the bottom of my heart, to somebody who I truly look at as my sister, thank you. Thank you for loving me enough to push a part of me that had been dormant for a while. Only because my children, and anybody who knows me knows, my children are my life. And I pushed pause so many times on doing this because they were in our priority, number one for me. And now they are my biggest cheerleaders, my biggest supporters, and they champion me like no other, and I love them for that. But thank you for helping me, for really holding my hand, saying, "Come on, girl, you got this. Let's do something different. Let's do something new." So thank you, Wanda. I appreciate you. I love you from the bottom of my heart, and I can't wait to just let this blow up so we can continue to do some other things, and then more importantly help other people find their way to fulfill their dreams too. I'm passionate about that. I would like to see us work out something at some point to get that together. So thank you, thank you, thank you for being the person you are. And your switch up game ain't, baby, you the truth. You don't even switch up. You so consistent. And I appreciate you for that too. Thank you for making me be a better person at times, even though we fight about a lot of stuff, because you be wanting me to do stuff and we fight about it. We still have love for each other, baby. That's a sisterhood if I ever seen one, because baby, ain't no way that you got to be able to fight with your sisters and still love them even after y'all fight. And I know Candace probably can attest to that with Wanda. Sometimes she make you want to scrap her.
Ooh-wee. Ooh. She Sheila, I gotta piggyback. I gotta
Come
piggyback on
on.
what you said.
Come
I
on,
gotta
baby.
piggyback on what you said. She's a pushy little thing, isn't
Ain't she?
she?
Yes.
I said, man, if she asks me one more time, because you know I got my list of things she needs me to do.
Baby.
I'm like, if she asks me one more time,
See?
and then she asks you the word like, when,
Right.
when. I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, what?
Mm-hmm.
Come on now. But Sheila, amen, preacher to the choir. I totally understand Wanda as a creative. She's absolutely wonderful. We appreciate her no matter how much she gets under our skin. And I'm going to
Yeah.
stop it right there.
Yes, I love it. I love it. And I'm glad to know it ain't just me. Go ahead, Wanda.
Honey, I don't have anything to say. But I appreciate you guys, you and Candace. You help make this fun. It's not like work. And I can't wait to see what we do next with the show. I know it's going to be amazing.
Oh, tell your mom she is welcome, and thank you, Wanda. I appreciate that. You see what Juliana said. I'm glad. Tell mom that we appreciate her, and thank you too, Juliana. If we ever do an award of the number one fan of the Sheila New Comedy Show outside of us, you and your mama will get that, honey. Because, like I said, for somebody to take what we do in English and translate it in your native tongue for your mom to be able to grasp and understand and to get the humor. That says just a lot. It says a lot about you as a person and a lot about her. So thank you for hanging in with us and doing all the things. I appreciate you so much. And thank you for supporting us from the beginning till now. And thank you all. Thank you, Nicole Charles. Thank you, Keisha, for just stopping in. Thank you, Jay, again. And Candace and Wanda. Thank you both. It's been one hell of a year. Happy anniversary to the Sheila New Comedy Show. And I can't wait until next month so we can get it popping. Thank you, Jay. Again, thank you, Candace. Thank you, Wanda. Happy anniversary. Thank you, the Creators Chair House, for holding such a great space for a great place. And we'll see y'all when we see y'all. Peace.